syndrome. So the struggling artist syndrome. Today's video is about, is that something that artists must and have to go through? I'm going to answer for you guys based on my own personal experience, and answer for you guys from friends that I've spoken to as well, you know, acquaintances and friends in the art world who share information with me about, you know, their personal lives and their financial lives, okay? And I do know quite a few, all right? And also my mentors and things like that. So my answer is yes and no. I have a twofold answer. My answer is yes and no. And I'm saying yes because, don't get me wrong, not that there has to be a level of struggle, but there will be a level of struggle. Unless you have family members that are professionals, that are already in the industry, that can help you and teach you and show you the way, okay? You're gonna be out there on the streets trying to figure it out for yourself, you know, with mentors and things like that, but it's just not going to come easy. It's going to take some time, and during that time it can be a bit of a struggle because you're trying to find your way, you're trying to feed yourself, you're trying to clothe yourself, you're trying to keep a roof over your head, right? You're trying to get to auditions, or you're trying to create, so you're trying to find time for that, you know? So all of that within itself is a struggle within itself. And it could be something that you enjoy because you look forward to these auditions and things like that. You look forward to working on your craft. But the living part, right? The living part, sustaining yourself part, is going to be a bit of a struggle. Usually is going to come from not really having enough, right? Like maybe having just enough to get by, but not really having enough, okay? Because once you're going after your dream and putting that first and making that priority, it's gonna become super hard to take on a lot of other work, to take on a lot of extra employment that doesn't have to do with your craft, okay? Because you're focused, right? Your head is on your shoulders and you're trying your best and keeping your eye on the prize, okay? So there's no room for 40, 60-hour work weeks, okay? That just can't happen. Just keep in mind that if you're not locked into a set career and you're looking at your art requirements and your art just responsibilities as your future career, then it just wipes everything else out. Okay, and you're basically kind of stuck in the middle, you know, with that choice. And while you're stuck in the middle, there's a lot of holding back. So there's a lot of things that you probably won't be able to do, okay? Unless someone is gifting it to you and helping you out, you yourself, it is going to be pretty hard, especially if you're living in a city like New York City. Or in a city like New Jersey, okay, which is close to New York City. A lot of artists will live in New Jersey and then travel to New York City, Manhattan, you know, Brooklyn and places like that for their auditions, okay? So, and it's expensive. It's expensive out here. And how much you choose to struggle, I'm gonna say no on that end. It depends on your level of struggling, okay? Do you wanna just like bum it on your friend's couch and not work at all and just put 1,000% into going on auditions or recording and using every dime for your recording sessions? Then that's different, all right? That's uncomfortable to do for many, many, many years, but people have done it. People do it, okay? And they've gotten places doing that. So you get to choose if you want to stay on your friend's couch or if you want a place of your own, but you'll have to downsize, you know, and get something that you could actually afford and maintain, because you want to have a sense of security, right? So wherever you are, having a level head and feeling somewhat secure is going to also help you with that discipline that you also need for your craft, okay? Because if your mind is cluttered with a lot of stress, it's going to be hard to focus on what you truly need to be doing as an artist, okay? So those are just some things that I've learned. I started off struggling pretty badly and kind of relying on my, my partners for help. And then I decided that I wanted to just have my own independence around this whole creativity thing. So I'm gonna give you a few tips actually on how to get around the struggling artist struggle. Okay, one of the ways is that you can get yourself a really steady part-time job. And I don't just mean a part-time job where you can go from 1 hour to 20 hours on any given week. I mean a part-time job where you're consistently getting like a salary type of pay by the end of the week, okay? So you know what you're bringing in, you know what you can afford to do with it, things are more planned out that way, and you know what you're expecting, okay? So that relieves some of the stress. The other thing is try to go into employment, go after employment that has to do with, helping others, where you get continuous pay, right? So it's something that you'll always be able to get a position, if let's say you had to let go of one position because of an audition or something, a really big audition, that within that field, you'll be able to pick up some extra work probably shortly after, okay? So careers like sub-careers, right? So it's kind of just not replacing your future artist career or your present artist career, but it's just like a back burner type of thing to give you a level of support and consistent income, okay? So maybe working with children, all right? Or working with the elderly, or working in the restaurant arena, okay? Where you're, the service arena, okay? Things like that, where you have a little bit of wiggle room, but you're always gonna find work. And that's what I learned along the way. Like I have to put myself into a position that if I needed to go out to California, I know when I get there, I'm skilled, I have work-related experience in a certain area, a certain field, and I know that I'll be able to get a decent amount of pay for what I'm presenting. If you need to go and get certificates and things like that to help further your career along so that you can get more money, that's great. I don't believe that we have to suffer as artists. Holding on to that dream doesn't mean that we have to suffer, okay? So I think that there are smart ways to go about it so that maybe we're not getting everything that we want, but we're getting what we need. Use your time and energy wisely, all right? Schedule things out, know what your day is going to entail, right? And I think that will make room for you to be able to fit other things so that you can make some income or some passive income along the way. Another tip that I have to get around the struggling artist mentality is ask for help. Okay, if you need to do a GoFundMe account for a project or a video, do it. What are you waiting for? You need help. If you need to apply for a grant, do it. What are you waiting for? You need help. And I say that because I had to learn those things for myself, okay? If you have to reach out to old employers, do it because you need help, okay? So reaching out and networking and asking for help can really assist you while you're on your journey, prioritizing your craft, okay? So if you need to reach out to close family members who you trust and you feel safe with, who have your best interest at heart, reach out to them, ask them for help. Right? Ask them for a small loan or something like that for a project, or if you're going to be out of work for, a short amount of time. The other tip that I have for you guys is save. If you save some cash, you'll have something for a rainy day and it won't feel so hard. That could eliminate you just depleting all your funds, all right? So I think that saving and having a rainy day account is really necessary for projects, for transportation. And that's something that I had to learn the hard way. I'm not even gonna lie, okay? Because I never really worried much about money, okay? It's like I worried about it, but not to the point where I like had to hold on to it, right? So I get my money and I pay my bills and I spend it. But I learned that as I was like doing more of the music production work and going into the studio and paying for time and paying for vocal lessons and things like that, I learned that I have to have a savings account. I have to have something put to the side for budgeting and things like that. So saving is a really great tool, and it can be a safe net. All right. So those are some tips and tools that I have for you guys.